it sounds like we all have a history of investing in dry, and maybe just to outline some of the specific characteristics that attracted you to this space or the specific investment, and maybe have Emmett and Dana answer this question. And Emmett, maybe you can use Sarcode as an example of what specifically attracted you to that investment.
The thing that we liked most about Sarcode, it was, as I mentioned, a very early investment. And what attracted us was the mechanism of action, the target. For us, it's very difficult to make an investment if we don't have a very well understood and compelling mechanism of action. And LFA inhibition is one such mechanism of action. And it had been validated, albeit indirectly, via Raptiva. So we like the mechanism of action, both for diabetic macular edema and for dry eye. And now, at this point, we have animal model data for both of those indications. Although you could make the point that, at least for dry eye, animal models aren't super predictive. I think they're more so for diabetic macular edema. So I think that was whenever you make a preclinical investment, you have to kind of make it on those criteria, the animal model data and the mechanism of action. So that's why we did it.
Dana?
I don't want to say we were really smart about this initially. Maybe Cedric was when you did, but at Vimac, I kind of look at this, maybe some of you folks are around. I got my start working with TPA and EPO back in the early days of biotech, and a totally different scenario. And I remember George Rathman at Amgen at the time, talking about, we didn't just go out and get EPO directly. I mean, we had all kinds of indigo blue dye. We had, consensus, a bunch of things in the portfolio. And when we looked at the investment in Memetogen, we didn't look at it as a dry eye play. I mean, Memetogen really was a peptidomimetic company with an investigator in the neuro area. And he seemed to have some neuroprotective agents. And so we initially focused in oncology. And then we saw that this had some effect in the eye area. Make a long story short, we had a run at glaucoma. Realized there that we had no business as a small fund being in glaucoma because of the trickiness of the phase 2, phase 3 endpoints yet with OCT. And it looked like it was going to be a long haul there. So, on our third try, we said go back to the drawing board, and it turned out just by serendipity that there was some data that was coming out to show that the agent that we had looked like it was an NGF mimic and seemed to increase mucin production. And so we said, okay, let's tranche some capital into it and let's try to build a franchise around that. So it wasn't a direct shot on goal, but it seems like we are getting a little bit of traction now for dry eye here. So we kind of backed into it.